This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 25th day of August in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The election returning officer for Region 4, Clermont Mingo, was arrested by the Criminal Investigations Department of the Guyana Police Force this afternoon, as the force launches a wide-ranging probe into the allegations of fraud in the 2020 elections. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham confirmed Mr. Mingo's arrest, but would offer no other detail. The arrest of Mingo comes just 4 days after the Guyana Police Force announced that it was launching a comprehensive investigation into reports of electoral fraud, as advised by the Director of Public Prosecutions and the force's legal advisor. A private criminal charge had been filed against the Region 4 returning officer back in March by PPP member Charles Ramson Jr., who is now the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport. The charge was in relation to the first declaration of the election results for Region 4 made by Mingo. That first declaration of incorrect numbers led to the High Court ordering Mingo to tally over the votes and do it in front of the party representatives. But Mingo's new numbers again raised concerns based on the statements of poll that the People's Progressive Party made public. Mr. Mingo refused to change the numbers again and made a declaration. That declaration led to a political standoff, which resulted in a national recount of all votes cast in the elections. The recount took more than a month, and the recount of Region 4 votes showed that although the APNU-AFC won the region, the margin in Mingo's declarations was far more than the recounted figure. Mingo was not part of the recount, and it was the recount numbers that were used to declare the final results of the elections and resulted in a change in government. Had the Mingo declarations been used, there might have been a re-election. The national recount also found a series of anomalies in other parts of Region 4, which the APNU-AFC intends to use for its election petition case, since the coalition believes the anomalies were enough to change the outcome of the elections. Despite his name being thrust into the spotlight and him being highlighted in the various election observer reports, Mingo has remained silent. With his arrest today, he is expected to be questioned about the alleged fraud in the 2020 elections. The new government has already indicated that it intends to set up a commission of inquiry to examine the 2020 elections and all that took place. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hello, my name is Clyde De Haas and I am the Managing Director of Unicomer Guyana Inc. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted us all, but I promise you, we will get through it together. Shopping in this new environment could be daunting, however, we have fine-tuned our protocols to ensure we have a safe and comfortable environment for our staff and customers. Our store teams are observing the 6-20-100 protocol, that is 6 feet social distancing, washing hands for 20 seconds, and ensuring every day their body temperatures are below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Additionally, all staff and customers are required to wear face masks when inside our stores. We are sanitizing all frequently touched areas, including door handles and counters, several times a day. Our service technicians and delivery team members will utilize full PPE when visiting your home. All these measures are to ensure we minimize any risks to you or to our staff. You can also shop with us via telesales or online at shopcoach.com. We are well prepared and ready to help you find the products you need in the safest way possible.
Spend $3,000 in fuel at Falls Gas Station between August 3rd and September 30th and get a chance to win over 100 weekly prizes, or $3,000 in our recently renovated supermarket and you can win weekly prizes and one of 2 great food hampers in our summer promotion. At Falls, we provide a safe environment for you to shop, and you can choose from a wide range of products at unbeatable prices too, along with excellent service, of course. So shop now at Falls and make this a summer to remember.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
New to online learning? You're probably wondering what it's like. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software with the help of our experienced tutors. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how tech can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Welcome back. Former Minister of Public Service Tabitha Saribohali has fired back at the new Minister of Public Service, Sonia Parag, over statements Parag made that under the previous government, scholarships were skewed to one demographic and geographic in Guyana. Ms. Saribohali in a statement this morning said Ms. Parag may need to familiarize herself more with the work of the government scholarships program and the Department of Public Service before making statements. Saribohali said she is sure that when Ms. Parag actually gets a chance to look at the data, she will have no choice but to recognize that it is her statements and beliefs that are skewed, and not the management of the scholarships department over the past 5 years. The former minister explained that the scholarships awarded were consistent with applications received, adding that if candidates from a particular ethnic group applied for scholarships more than others, then the scholarships awarded will be consistent with that fact. She said over the past 5 years, the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs was allocated a fixed percentage of scholarships by the Department of Public Service annually. So it is impossible for the new minister to just look at the names of persons and determine their ethnic origin. It was also noted that under the APNU-AFC administration, the Scholarship Selection Committee was reconstituted to represent the multi-ethnic nature of the society and allow for a more transparent process in the awarding of scholarships. Ms. Saribohali further explained that at the beginning of this year, an analysis was done of the scholarships given out in 2019 for students to attend the University of Guyana. She said that the analysis found that the scholarships awarded were consistent with the population of each region. Minister Parag, at her first press conference as Public Service Minister, said she will be reviewing the scholarship program because she found that the scholarships mostly benefited one demographic. When pressed by reporters to explain that position, Parag refused and said she would prefer to leave the issue like that. Well, it may not have been the birthday gift he was expecting, but the Pacific administration today terminated the contract of the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Leland Saul, as he celebrated his 52nd birthday. Saul joined the Central Housing and Planning Authority in 2017 after working for a number of years with the local office of the United Nations Development Program. He also served in the Guyana Defense Force, where he retired as a lieutenant colonel. Saul was officially relieved of his duties as the CEO for the CHPA with immediate effect, although his letter of termination stated that he is allowed to proceed on 1 month's leave that is owed to him. He was told that the decision to terminate him was based on a decision at the cabinet level. Saul oversaw the last 3 years of the previous government's housing initiative and was seen as a no-nonsense person in the housing department. Back in 2019, he flagged the housing construction contract that had been granted to the husband of the then minister responsible for housing, Valerie Patterson. Saul called for a review of the way contracts were issued by the Central Housing and Planning Authority for the government's housing programs, and the then minister was even removed from the ministry and handed another portfolio. Staffers at the Central Housing and Planning Authority were shocked by the decision to terminate Saul's contract. Some of them were forced to cancel the office's plans to buy him a cake and have a mini celebration at work today. Since taking office, the new PP Civic administration has fired a number of high-level and even low-level government workers, who it considers to be political appointees. In many cases, the persons fired were not known to be affiliated with any political party. With the number of coronavirus cases in the country still climbing steadily, the University of Guyana has announced that it will remain in safe mode for the first semester in the new academic year, which will now start in October. In a letter to students and staff, the university stated that due to the pandemic, the first semester in the new academic year will run from the 5th of October 2020 to the 13th of February 2021. During that period, all of the classes will be conducted using an online platform. But the university is also reminding new and continuing students that the registration period will run from the end of August until the end of September. Orientation will also be done online between the 5th and the 9th of October, with classes officially starting on the 12th of October. The deadline for late registration will be November 6, while the deadline for change of registration, requests for transfers, requests for exemptions, and requests for withdrawal will be on the 13th of November. It has also been explained that students will have a November 27 deadline for payment of fees or submission of loan awards. The university's safe mode arrangement will be assessed in February for a decision on moving forward into the second semester. On Monday, University of Guyana Vice Chancellor Dr. Paloma Mohammed met with and held discussions with Education Minister Priya Manikchand on a number of issues related to the university. Former President and leader of the People's National Congress Reform, David Granger, is assuring his party's supporters that his decision not to return to Parliament should not be seen as him moving away from politics. In a recent interview with News Source, Mr. Granger said he intends to stay engaged, but to become more involved in the work for his party, the People's National Congress, and the coalition as it takes up the opposition seats in the new Parliament. Granger said there is a need to build up the PNC reform.
So what happens that the governmental functions suck the oxygen out of the political structure. So what I'm doing is a recognition of the fact that by spending too long in government, you could actually deprive the party of some of the functions which these high officials should be performing. And my action in not going back to Parliament is a recognition that I need to spend more time in building up my party. This is going to help us to perform better at local government elections and the next general and regional elections. I'm not disengaging from politics. I am changing the form of my engagement, and I feel that at this time in Guyana's history, my engagement should be more within the party and the constituencies and the regions.
Mr. Granger has come in for some criticism from some members of his party over his decision not to allow a number of longtime party members to take up seats in the National Assembly. The coalition's list is mostly made up of new faces, and Mr. Granger has been defending that position. He indicated that the older heads in the party can work along with him to ensure the party is in a stronger position for the local government and the next general elections. Let's tell you now that when the 12th Parliament is convened, the National Assembly will be sitting at the Arthur Chung Convention Centre and not the Parliament building. The clerk of the National Assembly has indicated that owing to the need for physical distancing because of the coronavirus pandemic, a decision was made to host National Assembly sittings in a bigger venue that will allow sufficient distancing between parliamentarians and the staff. The Arthur Chung Convention Centre will be rented by the Parliament for the sittings. This is not the first time that the parliamentary sittings will be held away from the Parliament buildings. Several years ago, the parliamentary sittings were moved to the Ocean View Convention Centre during major rehabilitation works at the Parliament buildings that went on for over a year. Across the Region is coming up next.
New to online learning? You're probably wondering what it's like. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software with the help of our experienced tutors. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how tech can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Spend $3,000 in fuel at Falls Gas Station between August 3rd and September 30th and get a chance to win over 100 weekly prizes, or $3,000 in our recently renovated supermarket and you can win weekly prizes and one of 2 great food hampers in our summer promotion. At Falls, we provide a safe environment for you to shop, and you can choose from a wide range of products at unbeatable prices too, along with excellent service, of course. So shop now at Falls and make this a summer to remember.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
Across the region, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, last night announced a range of measures aimed at halting the surge in COVID-19 cases. He said the country has now crossed the triple line after announcing another 83 new cases in the past 24 hours. The new cases brought Jamaica's COVID tally to 1,612. The new measures will be effective from the 27th of August and run until the 30th of September. There will be an all-island curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily, effective August 27 to September 30. Additionally, there will be the suspension of entertainment events requiring permits. Funerals will be prohibited island-wide, effective August 27, but burials will be allowed with up to 15 persons, including the officiating minister. Brazilian footballer Ronaldinho has been released from house arrest in Paraguay after his detention for holding a forged passport. The World Cup winner and his brother spent 1 month behind bars and another 4 months detained in a luxury hotel in the capital of Paraguay. Both have now been released, although they must pay $200,000 in damages between them. Ronaldinho had a glittering football career before his retirement in 2015. He helped Brazil to their 5th World Cup victory back in 2002. In March, he and his brother Roberto, who was also his business manager, were detained after allegedly using fake passports to enter Paraguay. And finally tonight, international news. American Airlines has said it will cut 19,000 jobs in October when a government wage support scheme extended to airlines during the pandemic comes to an end. The world's biggest airline said the cuts, on top of voluntary departures and leave, would leave its workforce 30% smaller than it was in March. Other carriers have warned of similarly large cuts amid a slump in air travel. United last month said as many as 36,000 jobs were at risk. And Germany's Lufthansa airline has warned it may cut up to 22,000 jobs, while British Airways is slashing 12,000 jobs. The reductions come amid warnings that the impact of the pandemic will cause airline losses of more than $84 billion. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.